10 things your cat desperately wants you to do, backed by peer-reviewed science that the vast majority of owners never provide. Before you dismiss this as another clickbait pet video, consider the numbers. Puzzle feeders get used by only 30% of cat owners. Regular play happens in just 47% of households, and 83% of multi-cat homes don't have enough litter boxes. Science on cat welfare has exploded over the last decade, with a 2019 systematic review counting 61 papers published on indoor cat welfare since 1991. And here's what stands out: more appeared in the last 10 years than the previous 2 decades combined. We now understand what cats actually need better than at any point in history, and yet most owners still operate on outdated assumptions. Today we're going through the research, real studies with real statistics, and real expert recommendations on what cats love that their owners almost never provide. Some of these will surprise you, and a few might change how you see your cat entirely. Here's a fact that should bother every cat owner. Feral cats spend 6 to 8 hours every single day hunting and foraging for food, while indoor cats spend 0 hours doing either. We've taken an animal hardwired for the hunt and handed it a bowl of kibble. Dr. Mikel Delgado, a certified applied animal behaviorist, co-authored research in the Journal of Feline Medicine and Surgery showing that food puzzles may help mitigate the behavioral problems caused by indoor housing. And that's when UC Davis surveyed over 3,000 cat owners and found only 30% currently use food puzzles, with 52% having never even tried one. Portugal's numbers paint an even bleaker picture, where less than 5% of cat owners provide puzzle feeders or hide food for their cats to find. The fix takes almost no effort. Start with easy puzzles filled completely, use large holes, and stick with stationary puzzles for beginners before graduating to mobile rolling puzzles as your cat improves. You're not just feeding them when you do this, you're giving them back hours of mental stimulation that evolution designed them to have. A 2019 review in Applied Animal Behavior Science identified 138 distinct play behaviors in cats across 46 studies. And what they found changes how we should think about playtime. Cat play closely resembles the predatory sequence of stalking, chasing, pouncing, and biting. When your cat plays, they're not just having fun, they're practicing the hunt they never get to complete. Pam Johnson-Bennett, a certified cat behavior consultant and founder of the IAABC Cat Division, recommends scheduling playtime once or twice a day with about 15 minutes for each session, and she put it this way: "You'd be surprised what a half-hour a day of playtime can do for a cat's emotional and physical health." But here's the thing most people get wrong. Move wand toys away from your cat because prey doesn't run toward predators. Johnson-Bennett specifically warns against waving toys around frantically just to give your cat an aerobic workout, since that's not how cats naturally hunt. According to a 2024 international survey of nearly 1,600 cat owners from 47 countries, only 47% report playing with their cat regularly. VCA Animal Hospitals recommends a minimum of 5 minutes twice daily, which adds up to just 10 minutes, and most owners can't even commit to that. Aggression between cats drops by 25% when adequate vertical space gets provided, according to research on multi-cat households. Jackson Galaxy, who hosted My Cat from Hell for nearly a decade, coined the term catification and identifies cats as either tree dwellers or bush dwellers based on their vertical preferences. The 2013 AAFP ISFM Feline Environmental Needs Guidelines, which remains the foundational document in this field, states that access to an elevated area allows a cat to monitor its environment. Cats evolved as both predators and prey, and they retain the instinct to survey from height even in domestic settings. Galaxy's recommendation for what he calls cat superhighways, meaning elevated pathways around a room, is that they should always have 2 access points so cats can come and go from more than one spot. A dead-end perch functions as a trap rather than a safe space. Researchers at the University of Sussex and University of Portsmouth published the first experimental study on slow blinking in cats back in 2020, testing 45 cats and discovering something remarkable. Cats approached strangers who slow blinked at them at significantly higher rates. A follow-up study revealed that shelter cats who responded to slow blinking got rehomed faster than those who didn't. Dr. Karen McComb from the University of Sussex explained the technique by saying to try narrowing your eyes at them as you would in a relaxed smile, followed by closing your eyes for a couple of seconds. This study delivered the first scientific evidence for what cat lovers have long called the cat smile, and the researchers confirmed it works both ways since cats are more likely to slow blink back at humans who slow blink first. What you have here is a genuine two-way communication channel that most owners never consciously use. This one sounds almost too simple to matter, but Royal Canin's 2018 study confirmed what behaviorists have suspected for years. Cats generally prefer water placed away from where they eat. The theory traces back to original feline behavior, where feeding sites and water sources in the wild aren't close together because mixing food and water risks bacterial contamination. The recommendation puts water bowls at least 3 to 5 feet from food as a minimum distance. Cornell University and FEDIAF both recommend providing multiple water stations around the home for best results. A Shore Pet Care survey of nearly 13,000 cat owners uncovered a sobering reality. 67.9% cannot accurately report how much their cat drinks daily. Most owners have no idea if their cat stays properly hydrated. An outdoor cat hunting for its food might consume 10 small meals per day, which makes the research from Delgado and Dantas in veterinary clinics of North America especially relevant since they found cats fed 2 to 4 times daily show greater voluntary physical activity compared to cats fed once daily. Approximately 50% of cat owners offer dry food ad libitum according to the UC Davis survey, meaning free feeding where food stays available all day. The Association for Pet Obesity Prevention reports that 59 to 61% of cats now get classified as overweight or obese. And the connection between these two statistics isn't complicated. Timed feeders, puzzle feeders, or simply dividing portions across the day can make a measurable difference. Feeding a large meal before bedtime may also reduce nighttime activity, which any cat owner who's been woken at 4 in the morning can appreciate. 1 litter box per cat, plus 1 extra. That's the N+1 rule, and it's been standard veterinary guidance for years. A study in the Journal of Feline Medicine and Surgery found that 83.1% of multi-cat households provide fewer litter boxes than recommended, which means the rule gets ignored more often than it gets followed. The number of boxes isn't the only problem either. Research by Grigg and colleagues found that cats show strong preferences for larger boxes, and the American Animal Hospital Association recommends boxes be 1.5 times the cat's length from nose to tail tip. Most manufactured litter boxes fall short of this standard, and storage containers often work better. Here's a detail most people miss. Boxes placed side by side register as a single box to cats, so you need genuine separation. At least 1 box per floor in a multi-level home counts as baseline. Good news came from that same study, though. 70% of cats showed no preference between covered and uncovered boxes, when both options stayed clean. Cleanliness matters more than the lid. The AAFP ISFM 5 Pillars of Environmental Needs identifies safe place as the first need on the list, not optional, but labeled as genuinely urgent. Cats instinctively seek high hiding places where they can see threats approaching while feeling protected from behind. The guidelines spell it out clearly. Your cat should have a private location they can retreat to, and for many cats, that safe space works best in a raised location. An important distinction emerges from the expert literature here. Cats choosing elevated spots for comfortable sleep represents normal, healthy behavior. Cats staying up high because they're too frightened to join the family represents a stress response. One signals preference while the other signals a problem. 200 million scent receptors exist in a cat's nose compared to the 5 million humans have. And the 5th pillar of the AAFP ISFM guidelines specifically addresses the importance of respecting cats' sense of smell. Research in the Journal of Feline Medicine and Surgery found that catnip generated significantly more positive interactions than control substances, lavender, or rabbit odors. Beyond catnip, experts recommend silvervine and valerian, plus growing cat-safe plants like wheatgrass, catgrass, dill, rosemary, and thyme. Some behaviorists suggest creating outdoor boxes filled with grass, leaves, or twigs to bring the smells of the outside world in for cats to investigate. One thing to avoid: cleaning areas where your cat has rubbed their face. Cats deposit pheromones through facial marking that make them feel secure in their territory, and scrubbing those away removes their sense of ownership. Dr. Tony Buffington at Ohio State University developed what's called memotherapy, which stands for multimodal environmental modification, and his research demonstrated that environmental enrichment significantly reduces stress-related illness in cats. His findings showed that a physical environment ensuring reasonable certainty, consistency, and predictability provides the foundation of enrichment. The AAFP ISFM guidelines put it bluntly. Although cats often do not express overt signs of stress and anxiety, they do experience stress, and this is frequently caused by their needs not being met, usually inadvertently, because of a lack of understanding of those needs. Unpredictable environments trigger stress responses in cats. Consistent feeding times, scheduled play sessions, stable resource locations, and gradual introduction of changes aren't luxuries you can skip when it's convenient. They're baseline requirements for a healthy cat. Researchers at Oregon State University tested 70 kittens and 38 adult cats in 2019 using something called the Secure Base Test, and what they found should change how we think about cats entirely. 64 to 65% display secure attachment to their owners, which matches comparable rates seen in human infants and dogs. Those attachment styles remain stable into adulthood. October 2024 brought another breakthrough, when researchers in Japan discovered that cats can form picture word associations after only 9-second exposures in just 2 trials, and that's faster than human infants who required at least 4 20-second trials to accomplish the same thing. Cats are not the aloof, independent creatures popular culture pretends they are. They're cognitively sophisticated animals who pay attention to what we say, who bond deeply with their caregivers, and who have complex environmental needs that most of us accidentally ignore. Dr. Amber Carter, a board-certified feline specialist, summarized it perfectly. Cats don't raise their paws and tell you they are stressed from a lack of environmental enrichment. Instead, they exhibit behaviors such as scratching places other than where you want them to scratch, urinating outside of their litter box, or having negative interactions with their housemates. The gap between what cats need and what they receive isn't about bad owners. It's about outdated information finally catching up with modern science. Now you know better, and what you do with that knowledge is up to you.